It was a walk down memory lane in Boston, Massachusetts for President Aquino. On the day martial law was declared 42 years ago, the president was back with old friends and supporters in that place that gave refuge to his family. In a speech before students of Boston College and the Filipino-American community, the president said the Philippines has changed a lot and has created more opportunities for its people because of the reform measures undertaken by his administration. He said these changes include the country's big strides in the economic front, the peace in Mindanao, and government initiatives to fight corruption. The president is currently in the United States for a 5-day visit. Here's Ignacio.
After 31 years, President Aquino returned to Boston, Massachusetts, a place for refuge of the Aquino family during martial law. The president's visit to Boston came on the 42nd anniversary of the declaration of martial law in the Philippines by then-President Ferdinand Marcos.
It is perhaps fortune's way of showing its sense of irony that I meet you exactly 40 years to the date that appears on Mr. Ferdinand Marcos's signed declaration of martial law. Following that declaration, my father, who appeared on the top of the order of battle, would be a political prisoner for 7 years and 7 months. Today is, after all, September 21. One day in detention, while he was out jogging during his 1-hour daily allotment of exercise, my dad experienced a crushing pain in his chest. The soldier assigned to him massaged his chest, and eventually the army surgeon administered a checkup, including an ECG scan. He assured my dad that what he felt was nothing more than a muscle spasm. Some weeks later, my vague memory thinks 2 weeks later, the head of Army Intelligence, who also was his warden, visited Dad in his cell and grimly said, "Sir, please sit down. Please don't be alarmed, but I have some news for you." Lo and behold, the Army surgeon who assured Dad that there was nothing to worry about had himself died of a heart attack. It was an ironic turn of events.
A special mass was offered for the president's homecoming at St. Ignacio's Church in Boston, followed by his meeting with the Filipino community in Massachusetts and introduction of the Benigno and Corazon Aquino Scholarship by the Boston College. The scholarship was named after Ninoy and Cory in recognition of their contribution protecting democracy. The scholarship was named after Ninoy and Cory in recognition of their contribution protecting the democracy and justice. One of the recipients is Matthew Alonso Sana.
And I actually had several opportunities to come earlier, and I kept begging off and I said, let me make sure that my emotions are in check before I do make a homecoming. It has been 31 years since I left Boston, and coming here for the first time since then brings back quite a lot of memories. It was here in Boston that I experienced my first snowfall. And for someone whose idea of cold was limited to the comfortable temperatures of Baguio, which is a popular vacation destination in the Philippines, my first Boston winter coincided with, at the time, the Boston Globe reported one of the coldest conditions and heaviest snowfall in decades. I remember that I had to sleep in thermal underwear, to which I added a tracksuit, put in a sleeping bag under various blankets and sheets, and which I topped with a comforter.
The president brings back the memories of the family and their struggle against martial law.
It was here in Boston that I learned the value of introspection. I just graduated and had lots of time on my hands. I remember thinking then, here we are in exile while the dictator is partying in Malacanang, raping the economy and oppressing our people. I consider my time here as amongst my most formative years, fortifying me for the continuation of the struggle and arming me with relevant experiences. I learned how to empathize, for instance, with our overseas workers. We missed the Philippines so much that I think it was Mrs. Norma Bucal who made kuchinta during every Christmas. And since there were so many Filipinos waiting for kuchinta, it was divided by, I think, 2 pieces per person per year.
The president is back in Boston, but not to find shelter, but to introduce the new and transformed Philippines.
Now we will be building on what we have already achieved, starting from a higher plane towards a situation where the full potential of our people will be unlocked and harnessed. And I know that if we hold fast and keep on the straight path, then the transformation in Philippine society can become an enduring mainstream of justice, inclusiveness, and empowerment.
For the People's Television, Rocky Ignacio, Boston, Massachusetts.